We're live. All right. Well, not live, but we're recording.
Well, we're live enough-ish.
The joke there is the
Um,
idea that any of us actually are alive. We're all dead inside.
ooh, spooky. Oh yeah, especially me right now.
We know.
Stress. Anyways, welcome to the first official session of the Avatar, The Last Airbender D&D campaign. Where is my pen? Um,
Way to go, ladies and gentlemen! We have the first dice dropped of the entire thing.
and of course it was done by Tyler.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I found my pen. It was in the wrong pouch of my bag. Anyways, I, as the not-so-trusty DM, have actually been a good DM for once by creating custom level sheets for 3 of the element types. I haven't done air, but I have done fire, water, and earth. And now, Roy is going to be an earthbender.
That's me.
Tyler is going to be a firebender. And there are going to be a couple of things about this campaign that are different from what you would see in a typical D&D campaign. And that will be a new system of fatigue. Similarly to exhaustion, using bending, you will rack up fatigue points. But instead of when you rack up too many points, you will ultimately die. If you rack up too many points of fatigue, you will just not. The penalty will be you not being able to use your bending for a certain amount of time. I need to work out the final nuances of that, but that's one thing that we're gonna do. Another thing we're gonna be doing is using the gritty realism mechanic, which is instead of having a short rest being 15 minutes and a long rest being an hour, short rest is going to be 8 hours and a long rest is going to be a week, which will force you as the players to pick your battles wisely. Make sure that you think about which fights you want to go into, because there will be severe consequences to trying to fight every battle you come across. The final point that I'm going to be implementing is the use of plot points. And give me just a moment while I open up an online D&D page, because my books are in the car. Basically, how plot points work is you get 1 plot point per session. Or actually, you get 1 plot point at the beginning of the session. And if every person who has a plot point uses their plot point, you can get another one. Number 1 is a player can introduce a twist. An example could be that a monster that you are currently fighting is actually a old ally that has been polymorphed into a horrid beast. At this option, the player to the right of the player spending the point can. The second one is a player to the right of the player spending the plot point can introduce a complication to the situation, making things more
Spicy.
interesting. Yes, spicy. And the third one is there is no permanent DM. When a player spends a plot point, they become the DM, and that will allow you to put in ideas for your own Put in your own ideas that you think of that you would like to implement. Though I do have one rule on this. You cannot use it in battle.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like, oh, easy mode. I only use a plot point
Mm,
for what? To win?
And
no.
that you can actually see the consequences of that sort of thing happening in the Avatar TV series. You see, every time that Avatar, every time that Aang wanted to be the DM, he would be like mid battle, and he would be the DM, and then he would go into the Avatar state almost immediately.
And then Roku or one of the other avatars would be like, no, I'm driving now.
Look at me,
I'm driving now.
I'm the DM
I'm the DM now.
now.
No switching DM mid game. And we have to collaborate, even if a little bit, so we can keep on the same track and work together with certain things. Like, for example, if you want to DM a dungeon,
Right.
you could tell the current DM, which is me, hey, I must spend my plot point to DM a dungeon, whether that be this session or next. That cool. And then the current DM could be like, yeah, or nah, and you could talk out why, what up.
That's
Everyone
it.
understand.
He doesn't, but I do.
No, no, I get it.
I was about to say, what do you not understand? Alright, with that, we can begin. Roy, give us a little information about your character.
Right. So, my character, his name is Rhine, and Rhine is an earthbender who had a bit of a troubled past and grew up in Ba Sing Se, of course. From my understanding, this entire campaign is taking place in the middle of the Hundred-Year War. And I would like to ask the DM specifically: is it taking place towards the beginning or closer towards the end?
It is going to take place closer towards the beginning of
Oh,
the
good.
campaign.
So like, wait. So is this like before war times or is this like during war times?
Think it being about 10 years after Sozin made things become 100-year worry.
Oh, good. That means that my character would have been prime time to have been born and raised in a time before the war, and is now in the middle of war. Right. So the first 10 years of my character's life were spent before the war started, and he grew up after the war started. A lot of things happened in Bossing Say. Um, as the anime was going. I guess it's not really technically an anime, but it's an anime. Uh,
Didn't
It's a good one, is what it is. We'll just refer to it as a good one.
it's a good one, right? Um,
didn't what?
I was gonna ask you, yeah. Tyler is Tyler and you are both more versed in the Hundred Year War lore than I am. Did anything like specific happen to Bossing Say itself, or was no?
Yeah, Basing Say was not touched until the end of the war when General Iroh rolled up.
Yeah, and that didn't last long because of the fact that
Luton.
uh, Iroh's son, and then Iroh was like, yeah, you know what? Nah,
Well, I like to
I'm gonna
think.
become one of this white flower people.
White flower bee.
And I know it's Lotus.
No, no, this is funny though.
I like to think that while Bossing Say itself didn't really get affected.
Slam.
At least, I mean, yeah, they didn't get attacked. I like to think that they did get affected in that perhaps it's a war, people have to be fighting back. So I feel like there were a lot of people who were like drafted into like an earthbending type army that were sent out, and Ryan was not. And he's,
Because he was 10.
well, yes, but
Remember, no war in the walls. No.
yes, no war on the walls, of course. But Ryan feels, left out because he is a perfectly capable warrior just as much as anyone else is. I mean, Toph was 10, and look at all the stuff she did. Um,
Yeah, but Toph is her
Toph.
own unit.
Yeah, that is true. But no, so Ryan grew up thinking that basically the entire feeling as though the entire nation had basically just told him that he couldn't do anything. And knowing that there was still crime happening in Ba Sing Se, because it's a large city, I mean, crime happens anywhere. He has.
And sorry, and also being in a war-torn city that may not be touched by war is not the greatest, because you've got fighting on between families.
Mhm.
You've got
The inequality of Ba Sing Se.
the inequality of Ba Sing Se. You've also got the fact that at any time people had the probably had the thoughts in their head that any time those walls could be breached, and also morale was probably in the dirt.
Right. So during all of this, Ryan, my character, I don't think I've said his name yet.
You did.
Okay, well, Ryan has become a bit of a vigilante in the town of Ba Sing Se.
A bit.
And because of this and a few other things that happened in his quote-unquote edgy backstory,
Edgy.
he is not currently in favor with his parents. It's not in a similar. It's not in a too much of a dissimilar situation from what Zuko was with his father, except instead of
No face burning.
there's no face burning, and he wasn't banished from his hometown. But the difference is that Ryan does not feel like he needs to redeem himself.
Yeah, I
He
was
is
about to ask. Wait, please tell me you are trying to find the answer so you can redeem yourself.
Absolutely not. Ryan is a fully grown and fully capable adult that fully believes that either his parents will come around or they won't.
And he has no problem if they don't.
Exactly.
Imagine being so edgy you want to be drafted. That's a whole dude looking for a fight.
No, you want to talk edgy. Tyler's character is so edgy you could cut him out of the story and it wouldn't make any difference. Boom.
So instead of making an earlock, you made an edgy boy.
Yes. I'm kidding. I don't know anything about Tyler's character.
You're not wrong. Not necessarily.
All right.
All right, Tyler.
Do your best.
Your turn.
Do your best tragic Dragon Ball Z backstory monologue to talk about your character. I was born 500 years ago at a time of the Russian War.
No, I got this.
Long
Hold
ago, there were 4 nations. No, I'm just kidding.
Water, fire, air.
Long ago,
Fire.
there were. Long ago, there were 4 nations: air, fire, water, and soup.
And soup.
First of all, that's not even the right order. Secondly,
I was attacked, and my soup was stolen without the safe, warm company of my soup.
What on earth? Hold on.
I dwelled deep into the darkness.
How I appear to others. This is a good representation.
Just for the viewers at home, I guess listeners who can't see Tyler and don't know, he is not actually high right now. He just sounds like it.
And he looks like it.
But he's not. This is, I mean, he's not. You can't see me making air quotes right now, but he's not.
No, everyone thinks I smoke, but I do not.
He sounded like this since like middle school.
Alrighty, so.
Anyways, go on, Tyler.
So
Enough about soup.
Homeboy Jong, right?
Did he say dong just now?
No, Jong.
Magnum dong.
Like John.
Magnum Jong.
Like John, but with a G at the end of it. John.
Yeah.
Jong.
I had such trouble finding a stupid name. I went through so many different Avatar name generators, so many different Japanese name generators. I was like, why am I having so much trouble? They all sound like waterbenders. And I'm like, okay, we're just going back to the show. Oh yeah, this guy had a cool name. Let's use that.
Boy.
So young man Jong here. He deserted the army. Young Jong.
The army.
He deserted the army after he was put in charge of a execution, and he was like no. So one thing led to another, and he ran away with the people he was supposed to execute. So there we go.
So you're both vigilantes.
I guess so.
Technically.
Kind of.
We've already got a superhero campaign.
Yeah.
What?
And now we have
What?
a bit.
Did you want me to say I was banished to find the avatar? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Zuko?
Is that you?
You're 100 years early.
I don't know. I feel like a deserter and a vigilante will like play differently.
That and it would make sense because all other available, well, not all of them, but most other available firebenders would be doing the fighting.
Yeesh.
Anyways, now we can actually start.
Indeed.
Indeedly doodly.
Doodly doodly. That's great.
That's a
I'm gonna
reference
say
from
it that
something,
way.
but I forget what it was.
Don't worry. Someone in one of the 2 people watching will like put that in the comments. I'm sure.
One of the 0 people watching will just suddenly,
Okay, look. There are at least 2 of us here, so that makes it at least 2 people watching. Tyler won't because he's too busy not uploading videos to his own channel. So.
Bro, it's punching bag Tyler hours, dude.
It's not that hard though.
It's not that hard to make fun of me. This is true.
Indeedly doodly.
Doodly.
Alright, so, Roy,
That's me.
I forgot to tell you, but your basic attack does a 1d4 of damage.
Yeah, you told me. Wait.
Okay.
1d4.
Yeah.
I thought the earthbending thing did more than that.
Is it called Rocky?
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, I said I was going to change it. Okay, it's 1d6, sorry.
1d6. That's right. Okay.
Is it called Rocky?
No, I mean, Roy can call it
it
rock
is not
yeet if
called
he
rock
wants.
yeet. It's called stone yeet. Get it right.
Stone yeet. The ancient
It's called
rising
leva
fall
yeet.
of stone yeet.
Actually, no.
Stone,
No, guys,
earth
guys,
and
it's-
stone leva yeet.
Okay, we know we've got stone yeet, but do I get boulder yoink is the question.
Boulder yoink.
Yoink!
Well, technically at 12th level you do get a yoink, but then you also yeet
I guess that's true.
big boulder. Anyways, Tyler,
Yeah.
your basic bending attack is called Blazing Rings and Arcs, which does a 1d4 with a chance of burn.
Also, for the 2 people watching who happen to hear the background right now, we are currently getting ready to be celebrating Freedom Day, and there is fireworks happening in the background.
Hey, sorry, 1d4 with a chance of burn?
With a chance of burn.
I was hoping no one heard me mess that up.
Well, now everyone
heard you.
Now it's out there for the internet. And it was called Fire Rings and...
Blazing Rings and Arcs.
Blazing Rings and...
Or you could just call them Rings of Fire. I fell into a burning ring
Stop
of
it.
fire.
The only reason I'm saying to stop it is because we're gonna get copy striked.
Hey, you
What,
can't get copy striked on very bad singings of songs.
What kind of stat is that?
It's fire.
Oh, I mean, like is it strength, dexterity, constitution?
Oh,
charisma?
it's a constitution. No, it's a dexterity.
Dexterity.
Okay. Rhine.
That's me.
Bruh.
Sorry. That's me.
That's me.
For a second, I thought you did that voice modulator thing, and I was about to be like, bro.
I could do that,
not here.
but no, I'm not going to.
Rhine. You have been watching the streets of Ba Sing Se all week. Well, you watch the streets all week, every week, since you've started doing this. But you've been watching more closely. There has been word of a desertion. You're not quite sure if it's from your side or the other side, but there have been talks, and they are in Ba Sing Se.
I wonder who it could be. Oh, sorry, hold on, in character. I wonder who it could be.
I wonder. I was wondering when you'd visit my shop. Straight from Atla to Harry Potter.
I have a question for the DM. As
Yes.
I'm looking through the streets, do I happen to notice a cabbage vendor?
No.
Damn,
Not yet.
there aren't any cabbage vendors. I guess it
Mm.
is nighttime right now, so there wouldn't be any out. So I guess it doesn't make. I mean, I guess it makes a little
Where do
bit
you
of
live?
sense.
Do you live in like poor people bossing say?
It's bossing. It's bossing say.
No, I know, but like,
Just
like, do
bossing
you live
say
in
he
the
doesn't
upper
live in the
rings or
palace.
like?
I guess technically, like his house is in the upper area, but currently I'm in the lower area.
Anyways, you keep an eagle eye out as you
An evil eye.
eagle eye as you move from roof to roof. And for the most part, you can only see city guards and a few, let's just say, more inebriated folks who are wandering the streets and making the dirt roads a little more dirty.
Inebriated.
Yeah.
They're drunk.
Okay, that's what I thought so.
This bitch didn't
Yes,
know what the word drunk meant.
and they are making the dirt roads more dirty.
You just make it way too easy for us to make fun of you.
What if it's all a plan and in the end there's a big twist? I'm just kidding. Would you expect that from me? No.
You're really just Earlock, who read one book about cheeseburgers and is now an
Firebender.
intellectual.
Wait.
Is now a fire.
Well, wait, Earlock actually is a firebender. Hang on.
Forgot about that.
Hang on.
You continue to move throughout the city on a patrol that only you really know of, and even then you don't really know where it is you're going. You just know move.
I don't think I'm on the streets. I actually think I'm going on the building tops right now. But
I know, and that's what I was saying. You were moving roof to roof. Listen to your DM.
no, am I Naruto running?
No, you're not Naruto running. But as you stop on one building, I would like you to make a perception check.
Ooh, good perception. So that perception check was a 22. The first roll of the campaign.
You didn't need very much. You only needed a 10.
Ha!
But okay. You hear the sounds of a struggle in the alley below. What you gonna do? You look over the edge of the building, and you see a woman running away from what looks to be a person dressed in black.
Do I recognize this person dressed in black?
Roll an investigation.
Intelligence. So that was an 18.
You recognize this as being one of the repeat offenders of the Bossing Say streets. A petty thief that goes by the name of Hong. No.
Wait a second.
No. People can have similar sounding names.
I feel like you did that on purpose, but okay.
I did, because I couldn't think of anything off the top of my head.
A question for the DM. The rock summoning ability that I can do. Do I have to be like, okay. I guess,
Actually, no, I'm going to change his name to Hong Ji.
okay. My question involves, like, because a lot of times, Earthbenders can summon rocks from a distance, and I'm not looking to summon it from an extreme distance, but
Summons it from the moon.
a lot of the Bossing Say buildings are kind of one floor shorter style buildings, except in the richer district, from what I remember. And in this area, I feel like it would still be the one-story type thing, so I wouldn't be extremely far away from the thing. Basically, what I'm trying to figure out if I can do is if I can, like, summon and like kick a rock like from on the building, but like do the motions for it, but like the rock be on the ground behind him?
No. You are level 1. You are not level 20.
Fine. And then I'm gonna dive down into the alley just behind him and attempt to be stealthful when I do it.
Alright, roll a stealth check.
Right. So because of my, I'm only saying this out loud because we are recording. Because of my custom background, I do have not advantage, but proficiency in stealth. So that I didn't build myself as a rogue. I swear. 24.
Sounds like it.
24.
You hang off from the edge of the building, being careful to slide down just enough to where you can hop off the edge and land on the dirt ground without a sound. And stomping a foot on the ground in front of you, a grapefruit-sized, actually no, a cabbage-sized rock shoots up from the ground in front of you.
I definitely kick it.
Yeah. And you do almost a roundhouse kick to punt it directly at him. And seeing as it is night, it is dark, and he didn't hear you, and he goes down.
Right. So, can I say that I have like a way of binding people's wrists because I am a vigilante type thing?
If you gave yourself a pack, sure.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to take a set of binders out, and I am going to basically I'm going to
Just bind his hands with rock.
Oh yeah, I can do that, can't I? I'm going to. Yeah, actually, no, that's a good idea. If he's laying spread
You
eagle,
don't need tools when you can make them.
oh yeah, if he's laying spread eagle on the ground, then I would like to just use my earthbending ability to like bind his hands, basically, you know.
All right.
So like make loops come out of the ground and go around and like yeah, you get it.
You make them too loose, and he just whoop. No.
You stomp your foot on the ground again, and 4 rock
Loops.
Yeah, loops appear and wrap themselves around Hyungji's wrists and ankles, keeping him from moving anywhere else. And the woman who had been running actually sees this and walks over, or not walks over, but she just kind of stops running, looks down at Hyungji and is like, "You should know better by now. This is like the 15th time he's gotten you." She looks at you, says thank you, and then heads off.
I look down at Hyungji, I chuckle, and then I go to jump onto the roof, the roof of the next building over.
As you go to move, he's just like, hey, you're not gonna... Come on.
I turn around and look at him and I say, "What? Do you think that for the 15th time I'm going to let you go and you're going to just for the 15th time go and rob someone else? No. I think I'm going to leave you here for a couple hours."
I completely understand. It's quite unfortunate that you caught me in this situation again. Really, my pants were down. But could you please do me a favor?
All right, you found me in a forgiving mood. What kind of favor could I be doing you today? And if it involves taking these chains off, the answer is no.
Oh, no. You don't have to take them off, but could you maybe flip me over? Currently, he is laying on his stomach, his face pressed into the ground.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I know we're early level, and I know you've been wanting me to not do extremely OP things, but what I really want to do is I really want to take a slab of dirt like under him in like a square formation and just flip it over. But like specifically flip it over to where like only his face is exposed. So he's not like suffocating or anything.
Sure, I'll allow that.
Yes, I saw him on the ground. It just rotates over, and only his face is exposed now. And I look down and I smile and I say, "Better."
Kinda. Thanks. So, when is there a guard gonna be coming soon-ish?
They do their patrols every couple of hours, so. Oh, what time is it now? You don't have a watch, do you? Oh, never mind. And I look around the corner to one of the clocks. I don't know actually if they tell time the same. They never really talk about that. But I'm just going to, for the sake of assumption, say that they have a similar scale of time to Earth, like time periods. I look at the clock in like the center of the square type area where we're at, and I look back at him and I say, I should be back in about 3 hours or so. Have fun.
Right. Hey.
What?
Come on, friendo, buddy, old pal. When did our relationship become so sour?
When you started robbing ladies in the middle of the night.
I mean, I didn't do that for a good couple of,
Days? It was days.
I was gonna say weeks.
It was days.
Please.
I'll tell you what. If you could come up with a better argument than just please, I might consider alerting the guards to your presence and have them come by a little bit sooner than 3 hours from now.
Pretty pleased with the cherry on top?
You know what? You've convinced me. I'm gonna go let them know that you're here. And what I want to do is I want to basically I want to like write a note or something like that on a piece of parchment and like set it down on top of him. And the note says to be picked up in 2 hours and 59 minutes. but since he can't see it, he doesn't know exactly what it says.
He kind of tries to crane his neck a little bit to read it, to see what you wrote, and then he looks back up to you as you move back towards the wall and says, "So you're gonna go get a guard, right? Can you make sure it's not Sergeant Jin, please?"
I'll see what I can do. And I guess I just go to jump onto the next roof. And as I do, actually, would it make more or less sense for me to like push off of the ground with an earthbending type thing? I can roll in athletics or something like that. It's just for style points, really.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Athletics.
Roll in athletics.
Cool, that's a 16.
So it's not too much, but you're able to just kind of give yourself a little boost, so you can grab onto the roof of the nearby house and pull yourself up.
And I am then going to go look for the sergeant.
You know the sergeant to be at their place of residence about this time. Sergeant Jin is more of a daytime guard, not really a night person.
That makes sense. All right, well then I guess I will go look for one of the other guards then. What is my current relationship with the guards?
Currently, the guards know of your presence, but they don't really do anything about it.
Cool.
They know that you're there as whatever your vigilante name is, but they don't really actively try and seek you out because of the fact that
I'm
you
helping.
you help catch petty criminals, and they can basically just sit and do nothing for the night if they so chose, which some of them chose.
Right. So I'm gonna go look for the nearest guard that's standing like in front of a building of some kind. Right. And specifically, I'm looking for one facing away from said building because guards patrol the streets like that.
Mhm.
And once I get
No, they're just facing the building, just like, I wish I could go home.
once I get there, I want to jump off and land directly behind them. And this time with a bit of a thud to alert them of my presence. And I'm kind of attempting to startle them, so I can roll intimidation if you would like.
No, I'm not gonna have you roll that
Cool.
because it's the middle of the night and they aren't really expecting it. Excuse me. You drop down from the building, yeah, and oh, well, who's there?
The boogeyman. Who do you think?
Oh, you.
Me. Yes.
What?
About 6 houses that way. What was his name?
Hongji.
Hongji, right. About 6 houses that way, you'll find between 2 different alleys that there is the face of Hongji stuck below a little bit of dirt. I have put a sign on him because he requested to be picked up within 3 hours. So if you could go get him after about, say, 2 hours and 58 minutes, that'd be great.
Hongji. Again.
Again.
I don't know why the sergeant keeps letting him out.
Mm-hmm.
2 hours and 59 minutes, you said, yes?
Yes.
All right.
You think you can
In
be
3
away?
hours, in 3 hours and 15 minutes, I'll go get Hongji.
I did the best that I could. I've done my job. This is where your job comes in.
And I thank you for that. In about 4 hours and 30 minutes, I'll go get Hongji.
Just do what you can. He's not going anywhere.
All right, then. In about
5 hours.
6 hours, I'll go and get Hongji.
He's literally 3 houses that way. You don't have to go very far.
But you said that he wanted to be picked up at a certain time.
Yes, in less than 3 hours. It's not that hard.
All right. In 10 and a half hours, I'll go get
You're making it so much worse.
All right. I'll go get him in 12 hours.
Perfect.
He nods and starts walking off in the opposite direction of where Hongji is.
I did my job. Could you at least do me a favor and tell someone else that he's there? I don't really want to alert every single guard myself.
Yes, I think I can do that. Dum 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 dum,
Cool.
and he walks away.
I guess I go about continuing my my vigilante.
Vigilante thing.
Yes.
Anyways, you continue back about your patrol. Watch as the guard from earlier walks towards the house, towards the alley between the houses that Hongji is laying down in. Goes in to the alley. You hear some talking, and then the guard walks back out and continues on his way.
Nice.
Without Hongji?
Without Hongji.
Nice.
Yeah, the guards don't like Hongji.
Does anyone?
You don't really like Hongji. I think the only person who likes Hongji is Hongji. Anyways, the hours pass by. The moon continues to...
The moon, which in this case is not you, not yet.
You, eh?
UA, what? I'm sorry.
Uh,
Oh,
it
no.
sounds-
You were doing
That's
that
not
like
right.
what the movie would
I
do.
swear I didn't do that on purpose.
The
Hang on, hang on. Let's
movie.
edit all of that out. The moon, which is not UA. Not yet, anyway.
And then Avatar Ong. Where's he at?
You just ruined it.
Did you just say Ong?
No, I know what it is.
You just
but
ruined it.
the movie.
We were supposed to edit that part out.
That's all. That's so okay. End
How
of
did they even say
campaign. We're
Qatar?
done.
We're done.
We're done.
No, but you watch as the moon continues to move across the sky, eventually beginning to set. On the other horizon, you see the sun beginning to crest. And your job for the afternoon is done. Or the
I
evening.
was gonna say,
Sorry, I meant evening.
okay, I'm gonna go crash now.
You move across the rooftops quickly, trying not to be seen now that light is quickly becoming a hindrance. And you make it back to your home base. Describe your area of living.
Right. So, there we see towards the edge of the poorer district type thing, the houses begin to get a little bit larger. And one of the houses we see has a bit of farmland around it. It's a bit of a larger house for this type of area. Pretty nice looking, kind of pristine and all that stuff. Um, Flat top roof, much like the rest of the city. And it's just below some of the ducts, the ones that move all the rocks around and everything. That is Bossing Say, right? I'm pretty sure it's Bossing Say.
Actually, I think that might be Omashu.
Oh crap!
That is a mushroom.
Sorry, not below those. I know. I need to go back and rewatch that show. That show was so good. But it's towards the edge of that district, and in the farmland type area, there is like a barn type thing, and on the top level of the barn is where I am crashing right now. It is basically a very small room that has the bare necessities.
It's the bare necessities, simple bare necessities.
Right.
I couldn't help myself.
So I'm there in my room type area, and I think the residents of the house know that I'm here. I don't think they know.
They don't know. They don't know who is up there. They just know that somebody's there because things have been moved around, and it is quite apparent when they go to the barn that somebody's moving around. But
Pretty much. I don't cause any disturbance. I don't take any of their food. I do have, money. My parents are rich, so I can still get by and everything. But I that's just sort of where I'm chilling for now. I'm between places right now. Let's just say that.
So you're a deadbeat.
What? No.
I'm a vigilante.
I like to think of myself as a nomad.
So a deadbeat.
When someone calls you a deadbeat or a freeloader, no, I am a nomad.
So a deadbeat. You go back to your pad and promptly pass out.
Nice.
8 hours go by.
Mm-hmm.
It is about 3, 4 in the morning. Not morning, afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of 8 hours going by from about 4 o'clock. Or no, 5 o'clock.
1.
Yeah. Okay, so it's about 1 o'clock. And you hungry boy, currently.
Mm-hmm.
Time to go to the market.
Yeah.
So, you hop on down from your barn condo and quickly move off of the farm residence,
Right.
passing by people who greet you, ignore you, and just walk away with no real...
I don't have my mask on at this point, by the way.
Yeah,
So
I kind of figured.
I blend in rather well.
Coming to the market, you find plenty of stalls. You find fruits, vegetables, meats, fish, which is a meat. You just find food. There are also a couple of restaurants and street vendors who cook food. One of which is a frequent stop of yours, which is a small little not shop, but a small little cart that has soup.
Is there a cabbage shop nearby?
No, there's not a cabbage vendor.
Darn. Okay, sure. Then I guess I'll just stop by and do the generic earthbender type greeting. I don't know if they have their own way
It's
of...
probably just that little...
Right, the... that kind of thing. Oh shoot, they can't see me the motion. One fist on the other palm, arms in kind of like a cross type thing, and then bowing forward a little bit. There. That's kind of how it is.
You could also be like, hi.
I could just walk in and be like, "Saw, dude."
Hey, yo, you got some...
Exactly. You walk up to the cart, and immediately the first thing you hear is, "Oh, you come back now, have your ride?"
I always do, don't I?
Yes, well.
And as I say this, I would like to note that my voice is significantly softer than it is when I am
prowling the streets.
Of course, yeah.
I heard there was something going on in a back alley with one Mr. Hyungji. Did you hear about that?
I like this woman.
Well, I wouldn't know anything about this, of course. I was sleeping last night.
You can't lie to me. I'm Lee May.
Who said anything about lying? I was sleeping last night. That's what I tell everyone.
Well, okay.
This character.
I'm assuming you want your usual.
I was just getting ready to ask for that.
She immediately sets down a bowl, and quite quickly and kind of recklessly just kind of takes a ladle, puts bunch of liquid and noodles into ladle, puts vegetables into bowl, pushes bowl forward.
Say, you wouldn't have happened to have heard anything about that deserter from the other day, would you?
Oh no, of course not. She just kind of gives you just this look of like, who are you? What are you talking about? Of course I know.
Of course she does know. Okay. Well,
yeah.
Let's just say, for the sake of conversation, that you might say, and I drop a coin down on the table, know where I might be able to, and I drop another coin down on the table, find said person. Or at least someone who might know about said person, because of course you know nothing. And I drop another coin.
I don't know. Maybe if and she moves her hand in a way of just like, keep it coming.
I drop a sack of coins on the table.
She gives you a look for a moment before immediately swiping the bag off the table and says, You can find them at the gate.
Thank you. Of course, like I said, this is all hypothetical speaking and everything.
Oh yes, hypothetically, you'll be able to find them at the gate at 6:30 in the evening, right up below the first guard post.
Good to know.
And on the west side.
Right.
Hypothetically.
Of course, like I said, I haven't been hearing any of this from you, and you haven't been hearing about anything that I do after sunset from me.
Yes, exactly. Well, have a good day.
You too. And then
And she pushes her cart off down the street.
No one better knock that cart over. That poor old lady's cooking her soup. My soup! Is she married to the cabbages guy? Are they both immortal? Is that what's happening? Oh.
No.
She's
Though you do know that someone did actually knock over her soup cart before. It didn't end well for the person who knocked it over.
She's the cabbage guy's great grandmama. That's what it is. Canonized.
No, it's not. She's not the cabbage dealer's great grandma.
Dealer.
Wait, what was that last name?
Cabbage dealer.
I'm talking about the lady.
Oh, her first name was Lee May.
Oh. What was her last name?
Soup.
Soup.
If it ends up being Beifong, I'm not gonna be happy.
Oh.
Well, the Bayfongs have been rich for a long time. They'd be
It's
up in the.
It's not quite 100 years yet. It's actually like 10 years. So technically, 90 years is still a long time.
You're right.
And she's a very old lady. Like, really, really old.
Like Toph in The Legend of Korra old.
Oh, she's something.
She dinosaur old. Anyways, you walk around the city for a while. There's not exactly a whole lot to do once you wake up from a night of vigilanting. And you have to wait till about 6:30 anyways to meet this person who may hypothetically know information about these deserters. And I would like you to roll a perception.
Nice. That's a 17.
You walk down the streets of Ba Sing Se, and at 3 in the afternoon, you look down an alleyway to see Hongji.
Is he still there?
He's still there.
Oh my god. Alright, I'm gonna go find the person. The chief lady whose name I've already forgotten.
Sergeant Jin.
Sergeant Jin. Yeah, I'm gonna go look
And
for
I
Sergeant.
didn't say whether or not it was a lady or not.
Sergeant Jin. I don't know why I assumed it was a lady. I apologize.
You know exactly where to go. You know this city like the back of your hand. Other than the palace, because
No one.
the
the
Daily keep that shit locked up tight. But you move about the city, and eventually you come to what is basically the police station. Though I don't know what they would call, I guess guard station.
Right. So I'm gonna go around back where the back window is, which I'm assuming is where Sergeant Jin's like window type thing is. And when I get there, or as I go there, I want to ask the DM, does the sergeant know that I am the vigilante?
No. The only person who knows you are the vigilante
I was just speaking to, right?
is the crazy old soup lady.
Okay. Then, as I go around back, I want to look around and make sure that no one's there, put my mask on, and then uh, peek through the window. I can roll a stealth for that if you would like.
I would actually like you to roll a. Hold on. I would like you to roll a perception and a stealth. Perception with disadvantage.
Okay.
Not perception. Stealth with disadvantage. Because it is midday.
That stealth is a 22. And the perception is a 21.
Okay, what did you do in your character creation?
Literally, I have a +3 to dexterity, which means I have a +5 to stealth because of my proficiency. And with my perception, I have +2 to wisdom, which means with my proficiency in perception, I have +4. I just rolled really good just now. Like with that stealth, I rolled like an 18 and a 17.
Roll right now, don't add anything. I want to see what you're gonna get.
Natural 20.
Tyler, take a look.
Oh, that's a whole 1.
That's
I'm
a
just
natural
kidding.
20.
It's a 20.
It's a natural 20.
It's a whole 1.
I just wasted that. Thanks.
You're welcome.
My next 5 rolls are gonna be crap now.
Good.
No, not good.
You get into your vigilante shtick, and you go to the window that you believe to be the you believe to be Sergeant Jin's office window.
Mm.
I don't remember what the Earth Kingdom style architecture was, but I think it's those windows where you can't exactly crawl through.
I'm looking it up now.
I spelled architecture wrong. There we go.
Architecture.
Oh well, yeah. They're windows you can't exactly crawl through, but you lift up one of the panels and peek in to see Sergeant Jin sitting at a desk.
Like, so I can't actually crawl into it. All right, but
No.
all right. Well then, I am going to pick up a pebble, whether that be with earthbending or not. But it's like literally like a D20 size pebble, and I'm going to not like earthbend toss it, but just kind of like to get her attention. I want to like toss it like and hit the desk that she's sitting at.
Again, didn't specify whether or not it was a lady.
This person is sitting at. I'm sorry.
You pick up the pebble and basically just flick it, and it goes shooting through the room towards Sergeant Jin.
I specified next to the table.
I said towards,
Okay.
didn't say at. Actually, I would like you to roll a sleight of hand for that. To make sure you don't actually hit Sergeant Jin.
That's 19.
You narrowly miss the side of their head, and it plinks off the wall in front of them. They don't flinch, but they do turn to look at you.
You really ought to be more careful, I say. You never know what might come hurtling through your window.
If I knew it was going to hit me,
It's a dude.
I would have done something.
Well, I come bearing good news, and also news of lack of work, I guess you could say. I apprehended Hongji. I apprehended Hongji again last night.
I'm aware.
Are you aware that none of your guards have brought him in yet?
Yes.
You were just going to be leaving him there now.
Currently, the way that you apprehended him has kept him off the street, or rather on the street.
In the street, actually.
In the street. Better than the cells that we put him in have. I'm sure a couple more hours laying there on the ground will help him think better next time. Seeing as sitting in a cell for a day hasn't exactly helped.
I'm not going to argue with the chief of police, of course. I mean, you've continued to let me operate, so I won't stand in your way if you don't stand in mine. That being said, I do apologize for throwing something through your window.
Yes, but at least you had the courtesy to open the shutter this time.
This time.
I'm going back to my work now. And he turns and continues to write.
And as he turns, I say, as am I. And then I shut the window.
As soon as you shut it, you hear a clink against the woods.
Miss, I say out loud.
I wasn't aiming for you, you hear from inside. And then silence,
right.
Other than like scritching of writing. Yes, exactly.
Right. So, as I walk back around the building, I'm going to doff my my heroic type get up, I suppose, and wait for the proper time, that being 6:30, and then
Jong.
Oh, that's you.
Yes. Yes. I'm just kidding.
Good, because I'd have to smack you with this water bottle. Actually, I did it anyway.
My arm.
His arm is broken. He's lost use of it. I would like you to roll a perception check. With advantage.
The first one was better. It was a 17.
Add your prescription.
He's doing it. He's got to get his character sheet, which is on like the other side of the room because it's attached to his phone, which is charging.
It's a whole 16.
You have a -1 to perception. This bitch.
See, we don't build smart. We build hard or we go home.
See? Every character he makes is just Earlock 2.0, Earlock 3.0.
Just Earlock, the barbarian caveman.
He's built the same. He'll be fine, though. He's going to be different, I swear.
For those listening at home, Tyler's first character ever in a campaign, he somehow managed to cheat the system and get more than 300 health.
And also, when he's raging, he's got 30 strength.
And AC.
His AC is awesome.
And AC.
Yeah. Good times.
Good times. Every character he's made since then has the exact same personality. Or lack
Either that or the personality of him himself.
I think I'm just bad at changing personalities, and it's just me. That's probably it.
You'll learn eventually, Mr. I'm still wearing my Mass Effect shirt from middle school.
Perception check.
Obviously not a very good wisdom check. Now we see why he's always playing barbarians.
Anyway. You're just glad that you're level 1 and it wasn't a high check anyways. You look down the alleyway of just a random alley that you honestly don't know because you've never been in this city before.
Oh, this is
and
like
you watch as a man with short buzzed hair pulls off his mask and turns to look directly at you. And that's where I'm ending it.
Shit.